Hey guys, it's Darcy and welcome back. So before this video gets started, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry that I've literally been gone for a month. The explanation for that is that it's not for a lack of having any video ideas, because I was trying to work on this one video that I thought was going to be super great and funny. However, I literally filmed it like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, and it took like 2.5 hours to film each time, and after a couple weeks I just realized it was not going to work. So whether or not that video will never see the light of day or it's just not for now, we will just have to see about it in the future. But anyways, today's video, as you can see from the title below, is easy ways to be eco-friendly this fall. Obviously, fall time is coming up. It's the last bit of summer. I'm going to dive straight into the back to school and fall content in the next couple of weeks, and I thought this would be a good way to start it because I feel like a lot of people become busier. Got back to school time, a lot of people are working, a lot of people are doing both. Depending on your age range, it gets hectic sometimes. So I feel like a lot more people are conscious in the spring and summer because there's more time to do so, and I just wanted to provide some tips that I think are fairly easy. Without further ado, let's get into them. So number one is all about plastic waste and our plastic consumption. It's very important, if you don't already, to start using reusable straws, reusable bags, reusable water bottles, reusable Tupperware containers, and a lot of other reusable products. So first and foremost, I'll talk about reusable straws because I feel like everybody's fairly common with them. Like, if you don't own one, you've seen a lot of people with reusable straws. I just got mine from H-E-B. I have a pack of 26. They were like $6, and I think that's very affordable. And these are just reusable plastic straws. It's important to cut down the usage of single-use plastic and using plastic that is reusable or other materials that are reusable. Like, they have metal straws, they have like these straws like I've already discussed, and a multitude of other products that straws could be made out of that you could use. You can get like metal straws on Amazon for $1.50 at your local H-E-B, Kroger, Walmart. They're very Target. They're very accessible these days, so there's really not any excuse to have one, and they're very cheap. So just Google it when you go to your local store, look out for them, and get yourself and your family a pack of reusable straws. Because like I said, I got 24 straws for $6, and that means if 4 people in your household, y'all can all have 6. Take some in your car, do some around the house for yourself, and take them to school, take them to work. I know it might look awkward pulling out your straw at work or at school or at a cafe or at a restaurant, but we all have to sacrifice a little bit of comfort and do away with some social norms in order to conserve our planet. So let's all do that. That's fairly easy, I believe. Next, these are my array of reusable water bottles. I use this one most often, what a lot of people would consider a tumbler, and you can get them from anywhere. Literally just look it up. You could literally get them at H-E-B, at Walmart, at Kroger, at Target, like I've already mentioned before. This is another water bottle that resembles like a Swell water bottle. You could also get a Hydro Flask. This one my school gave to me when I graduated. But there are a lot of options on the cheaper side, on the higher end side. It's all depending on what you want. But once again, they're very easy to get. They're very affordable. So I would recommend investing in one. And then lastly, this is my water bottle that I use to go to the gym when I need to carry a lot of water. You can easily get a Brita if you go to college or you live in a household that doesn't have like a fridge that has a tap, or you don't have like one of those water companies that brings you water every week, and you like, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm going to put a picture right here, but that you can filter water properly. That's what a Brita is good for. It filters tap water or whatever water you have around you in order for you to drink it. It's $40. I feel like Although the initial investment might seem a little pricey, over time, if you think about how much water bottles, like a pack of 24 water bottles that our parents buy from the grocery store, or you yourself buy from the grocery store every week, it's like $3.50 to or higher or less depending on what brand you buy from, but the average is like $3.50 for a pack of 24. Over time, that will save you a lot of money in the long run, because why not use the water that you already pay for or that your parents already pay for every month instead of buying extra water? It saves the environment. I know that we were taught our entire lives to use plastic water bottles, to use plastic straws, to use X, Y, and Z that contain plastic, but obviously if you've seen the videos that are circulating around Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram of turtles with plastic straws and plastic material in their shells and ducks coughing up plastic, it's really harmful, and all of the plastic waste that's not recycled ends up in our ocean. So every time you throw away a plastic water bottle, you throw away a plastic straw or a plastic cup, it ends up in our oceans, and that's somewhere that nothing harmful should end up, because there's lots of organisms that live there. So let's do better about that. Also, let's start using reusable bags. I have this reusable bag right here to show you. I have several. This is just a regular old one from Kroger that says "From Texas for Texans." Because I live in Texas, it's just a Texas bag. You can get cuter ones. You can get to them. Outdoor Voices has like a collection. There's a lot of different options. Literally all you have to do is look up reusable bags and you'll find some. And you can use them for grocery shopping, you can use them for regular shopping at the mall, just to conserve the plastic bags that you use on a daily basis, because I know that when y'all get home, or when your parents get home, y'all throw away those plastic bags that you get from Walmart or H-E-B. Don't lie to me. I know you do. So if you do forget them one day or whatnot, conserve those plastic bags. Always reuse them. Reuse them for throwing away trash in it. Reuse them for taking lunches to school. Reuse them for a lot of different things. Trick to not forget your reusable bag is to put it in your car or take it with you wherever you go so you don't forget it. And then lastly, Tupperware containers, or there's something that I recently discovered called Stasher bags. If you go to Stasher Bag on Instagram, you can see what I'm talking about, but they are plastic-free bags. I don't know exactly what material they're made out of. You can put what you'd regularly put in little bitty like Ziploc plastic bags that we all use all the time for school lunches or work lunches or whatnot. You can put your chips in there, your fruit in there, your candy in there, whatever you like to bring with you. You can put them in the Stasher bags or Tupperware dishes. They're downstairs, so I'll show you what mine look like. But they're, once again, at your local grocery stores, or you can get some on Amazon. They're not hard to find at all, and they're fairly affordable. So I recommend you do that. Number 2 is to buy from sustainable brands or go thrifting. I don't know if you know this or not, but recently fast fashion has been deemed the second most harmful thing to the planet. It leaves the second biggest carbon footprint. And one of the themes throughout this, before I even get into what I was going to say, one of the themes throughout this video is that there's a lot of myths circulating around what's helping and hurting our environment, but today we're going to clear that up. And one of the big ones that we didn't know about, and it wasn't a problem when we were little, is fast fashion brands. We've all bought from fast fashion brands. That's mainly what's at the mall and online. You know, Forever 21, Fashion Nova, Hollister, American Eagle, Abercrombie and Fitch. Any store you can think of that's trendy, Urban Outfitters, Brandy Melville, that people go to a lot, they're fast fashion brands. And what's particularly harmful about fast fashion brands is it takes a lot of water in order to make the clothes, and they are not built to last, and they're made cheaply. And also those are environmental problems. And another problem with it, which would be an ethical problem, is that most of our clothing is not made in America. It's made in China or in Mexico or in other foreign countries, and they practice child labor over there, and it's just really sad. Think about how like 6-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds are in sweatshops making and laboring over clothes and getting paid very little to do so. It's best not to support them in the long run, because fast fashion isn't sustainable, obviously, what I said, because it's literally destroying the planet. And if you want to learn more about it, because I could talk about it in all of these topics for literally forever, but I want this video to be bite-sized. Watch the documentary River Blue, The True Cost, or Alex James, Slowing Down Fast Fashion, and it will give you a full insight into how our favorite brands are destroying the planet. The solution to that is to buy from sustainable brands. Like, I know that they can be more expensive, like Revolve or Reformation. If you don't have a large budget to afford those items, is thrifting. Everybody has a local thrift store, whether it's Goodwill, Buffalo Exchange, Salvation Army, the list goes on, in most major cities, and they have really affordable and good clothing depending on where you live and which ones you go to. But I've been able to find stuff at every thrift store that I've gone to in my area, so I'm sure y'all can find things at yours as well. And if you don't want to go thrifting yourself in the stores, there's a really good site called ThredUp. That's an online thrift site, and it consolidates all of the best finds at thrift stores around the country, and it allows you to pick for what you want, whether or not you are looking for tops, you're looking for pants, shoes, etc. You can find it all there, and they're more affordable than you'd see in the stores. So that's really neat that we have that option today. And also stores like Depop and Letgo and Poshmark and eBay and other reselling apps, you can, even Facebook Marketplace like has a section for clothes. You can purchase clothes from there, or you could sell your own clothes on there, and it's really cool. That way you're able to buy, let's say if you like a Brandy Melville top or a Forever 21 top or some Fashion Nova jeans, that maybe if somebody's selling them on there, y'all can do a swap, and it's the best for the planet, because they were going to get rid of that anyways, and instead it went to somebody who actually needs it. So that's really amazing that we can do that. Also, for designer items, for luxury items that people might want to purchase, because once again, buying from luxury brands isn't sustainable either. You can go on a site called The Real Real, and they authenticate designer items and make sure that they're in good condition and they're real, so you know that you're buying 100% real designer when you're buying it, and it's sustainable. Number 3 kind of goes hand in hand with number 2, which is don't throw away your clothes, donate your clothes, or sell them. And if you can't sell them or donate them because they're in very, very poor condition, use them as towels, use them as rags, use them as washcloths. There's a lot of different things you can do with them. Just look up how to make my jeans and how to use like 10 different ways to use my jeans around the house, or different things that you can make out of your jeans or your shorts or whatever it is that you can't sell or donate. There's always a way to reuse material, so don't ever throw away material, because that ends up in landfills. And hi, I didn't like the way this tip was filmed, so I decided to do a voice recording instead. But basically what tip 4 is moving towards more sustainable diets like veganism, vegetarianism, and pescatarianism. Now I know that it's unrealistic to say, hey everybody, go vegan, go vegetarian, go pescatarian tomorrow, but I think what's fair is to start making strides towards that in our everyday lives, like lowering our consumption of meat and dairy and eggs. And a really good thing to do would be to eat a meatless meal a week. Now, whether you want to call it Meatless Monday, Salad Saturday, or whatever, it's up to you. But I feel like that's something that you could do on your own or with your family that would be really good, because animal agriculture is the #1 cause of global warming, and it is the reason why our Amazon rainforest is currently burning, because every time they need more space for the animals that they slaughter, they have to cut down a portion of the rainforest in order to do that, and that makes up 20% of our oxygen. Also, the animals release methane and other greenhouse gases that are toxic to our atmosphere, so it's really important that we stop supporting these industries little by little, and I challenge you all to do a meatless day. Also, if you want to learn more about veganism and other plant-based lifestyles, linked in the description below will be my video I made a while back called Why I'm Still Vegan, which is very informational, and Gary Yourofsky's The Best Speech Ever here on YouTube, documentaries such as Cowspiracy, What the Health, Forks Over Knives, and Speciesism. So if you want to learn more about that, that'll be in the description below. Number 5 is do your research. It's 2019. And it's sad that we have more access to information than we've ever had, in previous years and previous decades and previous lifetimes, yet we are a culture drowning in ignorance. Either be because people just don't know, which if you don't know, learn, look it up, or people just don't care, which is another problem, apathy. So whatever it is, whatever range you fall into or whatnot, let's get out of that, let's educate ourselves, or let's start being empathetic and researching the brands that we support, researching places that we buy from, the foods that we eat. In America, we vote with our dollar. It's a capitalistic society, so where your money goes, your values go. So whether or not you know it or not, you can be indirectly supporting a lot of harmful industries that will ultimately lead to the destruction of our planet. So just be informed and do your research. Because right now, some devastating things are happening, like I mentioned earlier, that I'll touch on a little bit, saying that we've now shifted from it being called climate change to us being in a climate crisis because the Antarctic is starting to melt. Polar bears are becoming furless. If you've seen those videos circulating around, you know what I mean. If you haven't, look it up. Watch at your own risk. It's very disheartening. The Amazon is burning, which makes up 20% of our oxygen, and that has to do with animal agriculture because every single time they need more space for animal agriculture, they have to burn a section of the Amazon, and now there's like 1/3 of the Amazon gone due to animal agriculture. It's also getting hotter. We're overheating. There's overwarming happening in places that are traditionally cold. They're now becoming hotter. In Paris this past summer, there was a heat wave that went through Paris that wasn't normal for the area, and we're also having the ozone layer thin, which is really dangerous because we don't need that UV radiation. It's going to literally burn us, cause skin cancer. So back in like 1970, the ozone layer was still thin, but it's not as thin as it is today. Ozone layer thinning, we are in trouble. So it's important that we stop pollution and different gases escaping into the atmosphere so we can have the ozone layer stay intact. Number 6 kind of goes hand in hand with number 5 because once you're informed, you can start spreading awareness. You can start talking about what you know, whether that is face-to-face with your friends, family, peers, or that's online on social media. In this day and age, we have a gift and a curse called social media where you can talk about necessary and important information, also ruin people's lives. So let's spread positivity and let's spread awareness on social media because in 2050, the planet is said to die if we don't stop what it is we're doing now, and we are said to be the last generation that can reverse it. So let's do that.
I'm going to voice over this clip as well, but number 7 is all about transportation and limiting the amount of driving you do. Now, everybody has a car nowadays, or everybody knows somebody who has a car, so the best thing to do in order to limit the amount of driving that you do, which will limit the amount of cars on the road, which will then limit the amount of pollution in the air, is to carpool with people. Whether or not you're the driver, you can drive your friends to school if you go to high school, or your parents can drive you all to school if you go to middle school, or you just don't have a car and you're in high school. And if you're in college, you already walk everywhere or bike everywhere, so that's not a problem for you. But if you go long distances and your city has a metro or train or some type of bus service, it's best to take that, or even use something called Uber Pool, which is like Uber, obviously, but only you ride with other people, like max 4 people, and you all are going to similar destinations, so it picks you up along the route and takes you guys there, so you're all going in one car instead of 4 different cars. So that is something that I think we can all do in order to save the earth. So I'm going to voice over tip 8 as well, and tip 8 is all about recycling. I feel like this is the most common thing that everybody does. I feel like everybody recycles, but what I'm talking about when I say recycling is not just like recycling what you'd normally recycle, like water bottles and stuff or whatnot. Like, to intentionally recycle, meaning like don't go out and buy like a pack of water bottles and think it's okay just because you're going to recycle them, because as I've already discussed before, that you vote with your dollar, so that means you have already contributed to the production of more plastic water bottles by buying them, and just because you recycle them doesn't cancel that out. So recycle things that you wouldn't normally think to recycle, like your pasta packages or your strawberry containers or your aluminum cans, different things that seem recyclable, recycle them. Your cartons of milk, wash out anything that you think that can be recycled and then put that in the recycling bin. And if you don't have a recycling bin to this day, call your city and get one, because it's really important that we recycle everything we can so we're not wasting any precious materials.
Everybody knows volunteering is good in general, but I'm talking about particularly eco-friendly volunteerism, because we can sit here and talk about, oh, climate change is horrible and the earth is dying and blah 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 all day, but until we actually get out there and try to make a difference in our everyday lives, it's not really going to matter and it's not really going to be that impactful. So like, go plant trees or go clean up the ocean. Do little things like that to help the environment. There's a website called Volunteer March, and there's a lot of other websites as well that helps you find volunteer opportunities that you can find eco-friendly volunteer opportunities on. Just search for them. So that's about that. Number 10 isn't really a tip, but I just wanted to talk about places to recycle things that you wouldn't think about that you need to recycle. I know that didn't make sense, but I'll explain. There's a website called Eco ATM, and there's also places called Eco ATM where you can go recycle your electronics, and instead of throwing them away, I don't know if people throw away their electronics, but if you do, please don't, and please stop. Like if you just got a new phone and you don't know what to do with your last phone, look up Eco ATM, find one in your area, and go put it there, because they are radioactive. Like, you literally can't throw them away, because when they end up in a landfill, they kill the soil and they hurt the planet. So let's not do that. Let's not kill the soil and kill the planet. And let's just recycle them. Also, it's best to get bamboo toothbrushes. You can get them on Amazon. You can find them at your local stores instead of using plastic toothbrushes. If you currently have a plastic toothbrush, finish using it, or if you're at the end of your 3 months using it, because you should get a new toothbrush every 3 months if you don't already know that, go to TerraCycle.com, and there's a place where you can recycle your toothbrush so you don't have to throw it away and it end up in the ocean. It's important to do that because bamboo toothbrushes are more sustainable, they last longer, and they're better for the environment. So let's all try to get one whenever possible. And that's about it. Now, once again, this was not a call out post. I feel like everything that I said today was fairly simple to understand and fairly easy to do. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Sometimes we forget our reusable straws, water bottles, bags, whatnot, whatever. It's all about practicing consciousness and trying to do better next time so we don't keep harming our planet. Let's all just be a little more conscious and put thought into what we purchase, what brands and stores that we support, so we can sustain our planet. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content from me, go ahead and click subscribe. It's always a good time over here. And don't forget to turn on your post notifications, because you don't want to miss an upload from me. It would be really sad if you did. I would hate that. And also, if you could comment down below your eco-friendly tip, what videos you want to see next, or any insights that you took away from this video, go ahead and do so. And I will see you guys real soon. Bye!